I know you lot literally had a very busy week or two, like before he went non-stop of just
Recording.
getting stuff done,
Yeah,
basically.
basically, yeah.
Get me? And how was like the non-stop recording aspect for you? Because even when we've had like busy days of doing recordings, for instance, or busy weeks, like we used to say, bloody hell, it's a bit long. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? But
yeah.
obviously, in this case, you kind of had no choice, or you made it in a put yourselves in positions where you don't have no choice. So obviously, it benefits longer run. How is like just the aspects of everyday
Every
recording,
day.
maybe twice a day, etc., for a full week?
Do you know what? Yeah, it is mad and it is very, very tiring, but you do enjoy the process of doing it
Yeah,
because you're always having a different conversation, and you're always having a different conversation with someone different. So there's always an aspect you gain from each conversation. That the post production part is probably the longest part of it, really.
yeah,
Like the pre-production and that sort of stuff, and just setting everything up and getting everything in order. That's cool. It's just when you now go, okay, cool, the conversation's done. Now I've got to work, really. So the processes of film and that sort of stuff is very fun. And we've had days like that as well, where we
yeah,
filmed twice in a day, and you felt how tired you are during that
right.
second recording and
Yeah,
stuff like that. But no, I feel like it's fun. I feel like it's something that post career, when I'm done playing, or even while I am playing, I kind of want to go into in terms of producing things like this, recording on a daily basis, but obviously finding better ways to do it.
yeah,
That involves probably having a team of people that
yeah.
come and work with
Oh yeah,
you.
obviously once that comes around, then
Yeah. So I feel like when you're doing it, when it's just me and Reese doing it that way, it takes a lot of energy and effort because you got to kind of, one person's taking the reins of the conversation one day, the other person's taking the reins of the conversation the next day. And you can kind of see each other's energy. So when one's energy's off, you got to step
yeah,
up. And
when you're doing back to back to back like
yeah,
that, there's always guaranteed to be like, or not guaranteed, but there's more likely to be some sort of energy drop off.
yeah,
So it's just working as a team effectively.
really, yeah, that's what it is. And then extensive research. You research the person you're speaking about to the point where you know them inside out, and then you're going, okay, cool. If they forget something, you're basically answering. You know the answer to these questions,
Yeah,
but you just want them to answer it in detail for the audience and stuff like that. So that's kind of what we were doing. It was like we had lists in our notes pages of what we were talking about with guests and like talking to them and things like that. But other than that, it was kind of just natural conversation.
I guess when you got different guests on, it just naturally helps in
Yeah.
terms of, obviously, like when we've had guests on, we'll do prep beforehand, whatever, etc. But if it's ongoing, it's just easier for you to, okay, cool. You might not need to delve into something like off camera as much. Sorry, then once you just get going, because we see it like when we've had guests come on, or even before they come on, they might be a bit skeptical of like,
what we're gonna say,
how, like, because a lot of people, even before we started, just not naturally been comfortable being in front of camera or even remembering it. Obviously now we remember it's there, and it's just second nature. But it's like we told people straight after recording, you're natural. Like 2 minutes into the conversation.
Yeah. It's always, I like when we're speaking to someone that hasn't podcasted or it's not on camera usually.
Yeah.
And you see the moment when they relax.
Yeah.
You can see, like, usually when you ask them, when you intro, we do our intro and then we talk to them, ask them the name, they that's when they're giddy. You hear that.
What do I say? Yeah, my name.
and then like they realize the conversation after about 3 minutes. Oh, this is just a conversation. Bro. You see them. You see when they start leaning back in the chair.
Broski Aaron was like this. Man's pulling the mic this way. I was like, yeah, this guy's comfortable. Mental note. Boom.
And that's that. We've had moments with that the past like couple of weeks where you're like, yeah, they're comfortable now. As soon as you realize they're comfortable, you're like, okay, cool. This is where the conversation really now kicks in. Because the first like couple of things are just trying to get them to open up. But when they sit back in their chair, relax, get comfortable, that's when I'm like, okay, cool, boom. You're in. We're having a good conversation.
Yeah.
That's when I know we're having a good conversation. So it's that cues you look for. But yeah, it's very interesting speaking to different people, and there's a lot of people I want to have conversations with.
Yeah, definitely. I even just trying to. Yesterday, a friend was asking me, just like, I think last few days, couple days, when people just ask, I'm like, the only thing is trying to get on guests or like, but aligning all our diaries at the same time. For instance, getting everyone on the same working clock, like. And there's certain guests who have them patterned, and then on the day, it just can't happen, which is natural, isn't it? Because it could happen to any of us and stuff like that. But just like,
yeah, it's you know what it is. It's what's funny. I don't think people realize the depths in what goes into podcasting. As in, like, there's a lot more than just the conversation. The conversation is the easiest part of it. The general just admin you have to do for ourselves, in just terms of us getting here, is not easy half the time. And then getting someone else on here is another difficulty. And then hoping everything works fine, you know, that's another thing. So, you know, I feel like a lot of people, that's why I see a lot of people start podcasts and say, oh, everyone's got a mic. And then you see how quickly a lot of people drop off.
Yeah.
Because it has to be a thing where you have to be consistent. And if you're not, you sit there and you go, okay, cool. Is this for me?
Because like literally, like, you just saying that, when I've come across like a few, you wonder, even when we were choosing this name actually, and then we were seeing like in different ways similar names were taken, for instance, or how we can post an ad on social media, if that's going to be taken. And then you see, I'll just do some quick background knowledge on this previous version of a TDL.
Yeah.
They were running from this period of time, and you then wonder, oh, why did they stop? Do you know what I mean? And stuff. Obviously, in terms of those ones, you won't know, but then there's ones that we know of that, like, why didn't you continue? You had something good going on in it. So just like you're saying, the consistency part. It's because even me, Deji, his brother, and my sister went out to eat on the weekend, and my sister just came back from traveling, and she was asking about that, like, the standard, how's the pub, blah blah blah. And I literally, me and Deji brought you up. We're like, the one thing Jacob makes sure stays on top is that we are releasing something every Friday, like, without fault. Even if there's no way, none of us could. There was one week none of us could record, for instance. James said, the last time it was me and you, the New Year one. Can you do something now during day 3?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's tight, but let's make something happen. You get me? And then boom, get that out, and then yeah.
No, I just feel like, you know, if you do miss a week, you'd feel like, okay, it's acceptable to miss a week now.
Yeah.
So you then go, okay, cool, we could just miss a week now. And then if you don't, you're like, everyone's holding each other accountable to not miss that week. Even when it was the week when we were dropping stuff that, you know, episodes we recorded or clips we recorded, and I'm removing them around to put them out as an audio piece. It's 20 minutes long, but it's 20 minutes of good conversation that people want to listen to. So it's like that part of life. I feel like that's a life thing, though, you know. I just feel like a lot of people aren't consistent enough, so they don't get to where they want to get to. Like, even in terms of Chatterbox, Reese has a personality. You know, Reese has a personality, but Reese has a certain personality where he does stuff, and it's like, why is it not happening now? And I'm like, bro, that's just not how anything works. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to be consistently good for a long period of time for something small to happen.
Yeah.
And then from there, something big will happen. But, you know, you see a lot of people going, okay, cool, I'm going to be consistently okay and hope something good happens. Whereas we've been consistently good for however long we've been doing this now. Over a year, we've been podcasting. Every single week, something comes out. Sometimes twice a week, something comes out.
Yeah.
We've been consistently good for that period of time, and we're reaping small benefits.
Mate, literally, I only really take notice when we'll get notifications of certain amount of uploads. I'll be like, flipping, we put a lot of shit out.
This is the thing, though. This is the thing. And I watched something earlier. It was Tyler, the Creator. He said, you never know who's watching or listening. Like, it could get 6 views, it could get 2,000 views, it could get 100, it could get 1 million views. But out of the people that are the people with 6 views, you don't know who one of those 6 people is.
Yeah.
So you consistently dropping, and they realize, hold on, these guys consistently drop on a Friday. They consistently bring out clips every day. They drop reels every day. There's no like drop off in their content. Bearing in mind it could be better, it could be worse. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
But like you never know. We never know who's watching or tuning into our stuff. So from there, it's like a massive celebrity could be watching. Oprah could be watching. She don't need to be watching, but you know, you get what I mean.
She'll reach out in 6 months. I've been watching you lot for this period of time, etc.
That happened. Someone had one guy that works for her now. He had 130 viewers every day on the same exact day every week for 3 years. And one of those 130 viewers was Oprah.
Swear?
Yeah, Oprah ended up giving the man a job.
Right.
So, like, the consistency factor plays a massive part into everything. And I feel like with us, it has to.
Yeah.
It has to. Even if it's just one person sitting and talking in front of a camera about your day, your life, like, it's something that is a conversation that's interesting and people want to listen to us.
Yeah, sure. That's definitely true. Sometimes you don't actually think of it until, like, one, you either just do it. And one of the times that I kind of took more notice towards it is literally the one you and Tanika.
Yes.
Obviously, it was just you on camera, but like, even was I on holiday then or something like that?
Yeah, you were away. I had just come back, and it was hitting, and Deji couldn't record.
Yeah, but we didn't know when you were coming back exactly.
Yes,
yeah,
but you were away.
I was away. Yeah,
you were away. Deji couldn't record, and it was Thursday.
And you just said,
and I said to myself, something's gonna come out on Friday. Yeah, and there was nothing.
But even just going back to that one, like, obviously the conversations you guys had, you can see even like on TikTok, like, the viewing's been good from that one. But what you lot spoke about, when people, like, when my friends, they were like, oh, how comes it was just Jacob? I was like, we went about blah blah blah. He just sorted out a last minute pattern. But just the conversations itself that was had, a lot of people messaged me separately, and that I know, obviously, that don't know you guys, and just like they really enjoyed that aspect of it and stuff like that. So yeah, like you said, there's definitely the consistency factor. There's different ways. I think people need to understand there's different ways of being consistent as well. Obviously, we're talking about it from a podcast perspective, but you know, obviously we've got some different things coming for you guys. Don't watch that,